Good morning. This is Stacy. I am just technical support here while I hope while I fix my phone for Diane. And it's not. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm going to pass you along to Diane. Good morning.
iPad on?
I am going to turn it on right now.
Thank you. And what about that one that just ended? We're waitlisting, or what are we saying about?
I think we can do a little bit more, but
I think Karen just said she sold them all.
Yeah, I think we might. So, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Stacy. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, that was a little bit of a chaotic start this morning. I'm not used to having things happening before me. So, oh, hold on.
I'm trying to see what's your numbers at, because I'm going to make a quick little beep, beep, beep,
Okay.
because the phone keeps ringing.
All right.
All right, ladies. Whew. Okay, and they're not all here.
Tag
team.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, this is Deanna. I am butting in on Diane's time. She'll get a couple extra minutes. Don't anyone worry. I'm so sorry. We think we can do another 30 kits, 30. We sold out like crazy this morning. So if you were part of that, I am as shocked as you are. What do I know? Apparently not much. My crystal ball is a little fuzzy. So we are working on getting 30 extra. If you have not registered, please call us and ask to be put on the wait list. I should know. I might even know before this crafty hour is over. I'm waiting for a reply. Everything is kind of going a little crazy, as you can imagine. Stacy is working on a Google Doc that will have everything out. If you can just give us a few minutes. It's going in their confirmation. You will get an email with anything for purchasing the Google Doc. That is the way to do it instead of phoning. So please just bear with us. Stacy's trying to help us get everything all chaotic. And so yes. So please bear with us. Hopefully before the end of the hour, I will give you an update. I am frantically watching my emails. All right. Actually, my texts, because I just texted them. Okay, I'll pass you on to Diane. She can go calmly into her class, and we'll put the chaos behind. Okay, there you go. I have another problem.
Okay, so back to me. Hi, guys. I haven't been on for a little bit, so I'm excited to do Crafty Hour with you again this morning. Yeah, that was kind of crazy, let me tell you. But anyways, we are, I think, okay here. Let's go back here to this. Everybody can see me okay? I don't know why I have a frozen picture. Are people seeing me? Can you tell me if you are seeing me or hearing me? Because I think I have a frozen picture. Give me one sec. Oh, okay. Yep, I'm moving. Okay. I don't know why my picture isn't moving. Give me one sec, because I need to make sure that I can see you guys. So hold on one second. Where's Susie? I have a picture of Diane's hand on the iPad. Okay, sorry. I'm so non-techie. Technical support is back. Wow, this is quite the morning, people.
Oh, it just might be like frozen.
Okay.
Gotta love computers.
Technology. That's what I always say all the time. This is why I have sons. So
There you go.
Look after
Just, I would just, oh, but then you can't see the
No.
photos. Okay, let's try. Sorry, guys. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. There we go.
There we go. Yay. Thank
It's
you,
just,
Stacey.
it's the half
Yeah.
comment
Yeah.
thing. But
Perfect. Thank you.
It is what it is.
All right.
Have fun.
Thank you. Sorry, guys. Like I say, it was a little bit of a crazy time here, but we are good to go here. My comments are a little bit funny, so I don't know how much I'm going to see. I only have half comments for some reason. But anyways, I can definitely see the screen, so I can know what I'm showing, which is the most important part. Good morning. Once again, sorry for all the chaos around here. That Crafty Hour, I've never seen anything go so crazy in my life. So anyways, as you see, Deanna's already updated you on that. So we're good to get going. So today I did something a little bit different, and you have a couple of options if you don't exactly like what I am going to do today, but I thought it would be something a little bit fun. So you can tell me what you think. So anyhow, what I decided to do is I decided I would make, because we have so many of those envelopes and cards that come in these kits, especially these Spellbinders kits, every single time. And I thought, well, how could we use these in a different way? So what I created, and we are going to do at least 2, and if we don't have time to finish 3, then I have the written instructions and of course a picture that I can post for you. So this is what we are going to work on today, and I thought it was just kind of a fun thing. What we did is we used the card itself that you get in your kits to make the little pouch, and we'll do those together. And then I used the envelopes to make the little gift card envelope that you would stick inside the little pouch. And it has, you know, obviously the flap, so you could put a gift certificate, lottery tickets, whatever you wanted to do inside it. And so this is what we are going to work on today. So I thought it was just something a little bit different. Now, if you don't want to make the pouches, you don't have to. Instead of making this into a pouch, when you grab your cards that we will grab out of our kit in a few minutes, these cards that we get in the Spellbinders all the time, you can make this into a card. Dimensions would be exactly the same. So instead of it being a pouch, because we're going to seal up these sides to make it into a little pouch, you could make it into a card. So totally up to you. If you don't want to do the pouch idea, you don't need to. You'll have extra die cuts that you can play with afterwards, and you'll be good to go. So it's great. So I don't know what, is everybody seeing me okay? Because I see comments. I just can't see all of the comments here. So I hope everybody is seeing me okay. Sorry about that. Like I say, I'm totally not the technology person. If I didn't have Stacy or Deanna around, I don't know what would happen. So we're going to work on each individual pouch, but basically it's the same concept for the base, and then we'll work on putting all our die cuts together. And that's why when I did the homework, I sent you all out the individual sheets with project number 1, project number 2, project number 3. So you would have those all pulled. It's a big garble of die cuts because they just give us so much, which is fantastic. So this way it was easier to have those pulled ahead of time. So we're gonna work on pouch number 1. And like I say, I hope this was kind of a different fun idea for you this time. So this is pouch number 1. So if you want to grab the sheet that I sent you out in homework that said project number 1 die cuts, that would be great. So we can do that. I'm just going to keep that kind of off here to the side like that. I hope everybody is seeing me okay. Okay, so anyways, and then this is going to be our little pouch. I'm just going to stick it to the side here, and I'll bring it back as we work on each individual piece. So when I sent out the homework as well, I asked you if you could cut 2 of the cards in half. So you would be ending up with 4 pieces. I love this paper. This paper embosses so well these cards. So I thought, well, why not use it for being able to put these onto our little pouches? So I've got the white piece of paper that because I said cut 4, we're only going to need 3, so you'll have an extra piece. And I asked you to cut 3 pieces of the mirrored gold. because that mats these little white pieces. Okay, so we'll do them one by one, and like I say, but it's the same concept for all 3 of our projects today. So it'll be dead easy afterwards if you aren't going to create with me today, or you want to change it up, you can do that as well. You've got the dimensions already, so it's really a quick and easy project. We'll probably get up through all 3 today. If we don't, like I say, I've got written instructions for you with the layout of the die cuts. So what I'm going to get you to do is grab one of your cards that is in your kit. So this is just one of the little fold-up cards that came in the kit. I believe there was 8 cards and 8 envelopes. There was either 6 or 8. So you're going to grab one of these guys, and you're going to grab some double-sided tape, which also, I've never played around with this double-sided tape, is in your kit too. I know we kind of just always don't even use it half the time. So if you have sequang, you could use that too. If you have a runner, you could use that as well. But I'm just going to use the double-sided tape because it's included in your kit for you as well. I hope everybody is seeing me okay. All I can see is half comments, so I apologize for that. So anyway, so what we're going to do is we're just going to put a piece, let me move this up, there we go. We're just going to put a strip of the double-sided tape on one side of the card. And again, this is if you want to make the pouch. If you don't, you're going to do a card, then you don't even have to do this step. We'll be creating in a second. Okay, so those are the 2 sides. And I always like to use my tweezers to get this up a little bit. There we go. And so then we just close it. So that has formed our pouch. We've got an open top here, and it's just sealed on both sides. And the double-sided tape works so good because then you know it's not going to come apart. Sometimes a runner can do that, can come off a little bit, but anyhow, there's our pouch. So now grab your 2 pieces that I asked you to have done in homework. And again, if you don't have these done, you can do them later. It's no problem at all. So we've got the piece of white that has already been pre-embossed. I used, again, a 3D Spellbinders embossing folder, which I absolutely love. This is an embossing folder from, I believe it was last year's release. It's called Flurry of Snowflakes. I know we don't have any in store here at Clipper Street. I'm not sure if Courtney does at Scrapbook and Memories, but we can get them. I double checked that it wasn't one that had been discontinued or anything like that. If you do like it, that I've used it, you can just give us a shout or send us an email and we'll put you on a request list for it. It is one of my absolute favorites just because they're quite close together, the snowflakes, and so it makes it a little bit easier when you're cutting them. If you need to cut it down to a small piece, it's not going to matter. You're still going to have the snowflakes as your background. So Flurry of Snowflakes is the name of the 3D embossing folder, and that is what I used right here. So there's your white onto your gold. Now you can either use foam tape or foam pieces or whatever you want to do if you want to have it layered. When I did this one, I did, where are my instructions for porch one? Here we go. All I did is I used my foam squares because I like to have, did I do it? Yeah, I did. So yeah, I would use 2 layers of foam squares. I would put the white onto the gold with foam, and I'd put the gold onto the base with foam or flat, either one of those. But I like to use my foam tabs on the embossed images only because I find that sometimes with it being embossed, it's a little bit tricky to get the glue or your tape or whatever on there so that it doesn't come off. So I'm just going to use foam my tabs, which I love these guys. Just take me a second to get them off here. And then what I think I'll do is I'll put my white onto my gold with my foam, and then put the 2 pieces that have been stuck together here, the white and gold, onto my base with just my runner. If no other reason, just to save a bit of time. But if you want to have it more 3D, then you can do this onto the gold and then the gold onto the little pouch with your foam as well. And the dimensions that I gave you in homework, it really is just a tiny little base. And you could also use, you received lots of cardstock in your kits as well. You could use your cardstock as well. You were given four pieces, make sure I have it the right way. You were given 4 pieces of all the colors of cardstock. That was this little package here. So you had a whole bunch of different colors of cardstock. And what Courtney and I usually do is we just divide it in half. So I have 2 sheets, she has 2 sheets. That way, if we're playing around with it, we know that you'll be able to use it in her crafty hour as well, which will come up later on today. I love these kits only because in pretty well almost everything we get doubles. So it makes it so much easier for designing because I know I'm not butting in on anything that Courtney might be doing. So I'm just attaching those 2 pieces onto my little pouch. And like I said before, if you want to do it into a card, so here's your card base, you're just going to stick it onto your card front and it's a card. So either way, whichever way you want to do it, I just thought making the little pouches was a different idea. So we're just going to do that today. Make sure I have it the right way up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is our little pouch. I like I say, you can put all kinds of things in them, especially when it gets closer to Christmas. Of course, trying to find candy canes in July, not very easy. So I didn't do that, but if you were going to do it at Christmas time, I would have my little pouch that we're going to make and stick a couple of candy canes in there or a sprig of something. That would be really cute too. Okay, so now we're going to, if you want to grab your sheet of your die cuts that I had sent out in the homework, then we're just going to work on each individual die cut. And I'll tell you if I put them on flat or with foam tape, but again, totally up to you. If you want to have them not quite as 3D, and maybe you're going to mail this, and you could do that too. I would probably put it in like maybe a bubble envelope or something, but you could totally mail it to somebody too. Wouldn't that be fun mail to be getting? So we're going to start with the house die cut, this big guy here. That's our first die cut that we're going to work with. And where I put that one on here is I just put it over on the left, so probably about 1/2 inch in, and pretty well at the top. Little Santa's legs are just about up to the gold. And I put this one on flat. So you can just stick it. You're going to take it just like this and put it in about 1/2 inch. Really doesn't matter. You've got lots of space to play with. So about 1/2 inch. So you can use your runner, you can use your, like I say, if you want to make it more 3D, you can use glue. For time, I always think that these glue runners are just so great. Especially these scrapbook adhesive ones. I love them. Use it all the time. So I'm going to just put it down here, about 1/2 inch in and up at the top, and that's our first piece. So just like that. Okay. So the next one we're going to use is we're going to use the cute little Santa with the reindeer. So what I did with this one, so we're going to peel that off of my sheet here, the Santa with the reindeer. And what I did with this one is I just kind of overlapped him. You can't really see the little blue window here on the left. You kind of put him right over top of that. And have him just sort of coming off the house, just like that. So then you have it coming across. So just like that. And then you can just use foam tape. This one I did use my foam tape or my foam squares. I'll use my little guys here. And just put a couple in behind him and across the reindeer, just so they stay at a nice, nice level for you. This is, yeah, this is such a cute kit. I just absolutely love it. Hard to imagine we're talking about Christmas in July, but here we are. We've already got me doing this one. The next crafty hour is the 49 and Market one. It's Christmas, and then of course the one that blew up this morning is Christmas as well. So we're well on the way of getting our cards and projects working on for the holidays. Okay, so this one, again, I just sort of covered the blue, had him overlapping, and then he's just kind of straight along, but of course the little reindeers go up. So just like that. So that's all just with foam tape in behind. So he kind of pops off the page a little bit. You can see that one. Okay. So then the next thing is the little elf on the ladder. So that's this one all the way here on the right hand side. And I put him on first just so I can build the other three. So the elf on the ladder is the one that is just here. This little guy. And like I say, if you haven't pulled your die cuts, you can always do them later. You could watch Courtney's video as well and then decide. You may want to use different ones. It's just that I always make sure that we kind of wait till after hers so that we make sure that we're not duplicating. So the elf on the ladder, I kind of just put him right over here to the right, almost to the edge of the card, and again about 1/2 inch up from the bottom. So just like that, and he is on there flat as well, so we can build the other ones. So he's there flat. So just like that, he's on there. Then we have the 4 trees, these 4 little trees right here. And I put them on with foam tape. And what I did was I just overlapped it. So it's closer to the bottom and not quite at the elf. So kind of on the side of the tree, just like that. And I put foam tape in behind that, again, to just pop it up a little bit. I just think these would be awesome for, like I said, cards or whatever. But I was also thinking about the fact that if you had, you know, something that you could duplicate over and over again or make them all different, it would be an awesome table favor too for your Christmas table, that you could have the little envelope which would have the lottery tickets in it, or, you know, maybe a surprise little gift or something too. So just kind of fun. So now I've got my foam tape in behind, and it just kind of comes right over to the side of this tree by the elf. So just like that. And of course they're never going to look exactly the same as I even designed it. So you've got that. So just like that. Okay, then we're going to put the little elf that has the gift. That's this one here. And we're just going to put him off to the side of the tree. So you can't really see the little front door. If you wanted to see the front door, you could kind of maybe overlap him a little bit more this way or something as well. It didn't really bother me. So I'm going to just have my little elf there. But what I did with this one is I used double foam tape. That way he kind of pops up over the trees. So if you want to use a couple of your tabs, again, if you don't want to, you don't want the thickness, you can just leave it with just single, totally up to you. The one thing to always remember with Crafty Hour as well is we give you these kits and we give you the inspiration. I do them, Courtney does them, Diana does them, and you know, it's great to have the inspiration, but this kit is yours. Make it your own, and there's so many more die cuts afterwards. You're going to have lots you're going to be able to play with. Okay, so again, just kind of overlap him over the tree. And I forgot to put double. I want double on this guy. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I love my nails, sometimes I don't. There we go. Okay, so then I'm going to just pop him. He really covers the little front door. And if you put him on, like I say, with double foam tape, then he just sort of comes up on top of the trees. Actually, these adhesive pieces that I use are actually a little bit thicker, which I kind of like. This one was more flat when I did my sample card. I like this one better because he's really kind of popped up over the tree. So that's kind of fun. Okay, and then the only other thing I did is you were given a bunch of, like I say, so much stuff in this card. You have this sheet of foam stickers. And you can use the foam stickers. There are the chipboard strips and things as well. Now, what I'm using, I have told Courtney. Courtney may use some of the other ones. So again, you may want to wait, or you may want to put your own sentiment. Maybe you want to put a gift for you or something like that on there too. You could do that. But the one that I used was on the foam sheet, and I used the perfect gift where it's right here. And all I did was stick that directly onto the trees. So it's already adhesive. You don't have to worry about it. If you want to pop it up, you can. But otherwise, I just put it directly onto the trees. And it just said the perfect gift, which I thought was fitting. So that is using one of them off of here. Again, you can always wait till you do the other crafty hour and then decide or come up with your own sentiment as well. So that is our first little pouch. So I'm not going to put, actually what I'll do is I'll just stick one of the other ones on here, but just don't use the other ones until you see what Courtney is using later. But I'll just use Warm Wishes here and put it there. So that's all I did, was I just stuck it directly onto the tree just like that. That is our little pouch. He's already done. So then all I did for the envelopes, I made the envelopes super quick and easy. And this sentiment, don't even ask. It's probably about at least 20 years old. So I just used a sentiment from home, only because at this time of year, we don't have a lot yet. You know, things are just starting to come out as far as Christmas sentiments. So use whatever you want. You could put a gift for you. You could put have a Merry Christmas. You could put whatever you have. I'm sure most of you have a stash of different stamps and that at home. So just use whichever one, or like I say, after you've watched Courtney's video, use another one, a little foamy, guys, because we have a ton on these sheets. So this one, all I did for my envelope is I made sure the flap was to the right. That's just me, doesn't matter, whichever way you want to have it. So that's one of the envelopes that is in your kit. And what I did was I took a strip of the papers, and again, I cut these in half, so I knew that if Courtney wanted to use them, then she knows how much I have used, because she may want to use them on one of her projects as well. So anyway, so then all I did for this, let me just grab my turner here, and you can make this as big or as narrow as you want. You can use some of the other papers. Again, you have a ton of pattern papers, so you could use whichever ones you wanted to. But all I did with this one was I cut a strip of the striped paper. So when I say striped, I mean this sheet here has the gold on it, so pretty. And the strip that I cut was here, we'll put this here so you can see it. So it's the flap on the right of the envelope. That's what I mean by that. Strip of the striped paper. So I did it 2 inches by 5 3/4 inches. So that is 2 inches this way by 5 3/4 inches. Just like that. Okay, and I stuck that onto my envelope just down the center. Fits on there perfectly. So I did that right down the center. This is your envelope you've got here. So I did that just down the center. Again, quick and easy. And you can mat these, you can do whatever you want. If you want to make it a little bit more elaborate, go for it. I just thought this was just an easy little way of ending it on there. So, okay, and then the other one that I had on my sheet here, I've got strip of green stars paper. And the green stars paper is this one. So it's a green paper that has the little gold stars and the multicolored stars. And so I cut it, I'm just gonna hold that there for a sec, so just in case you guys wanna take a screenshot or anything as well. So a strip of the green stars paper, it's 1.5 by 5 3/4. So it's going to be the same length, it's just gonna be a little bit more narrow. Let's see if I can just leave that there for you. So 1.5. Okay. And that I just stuck right in the middle. So I have a little bit, 5 3/4. I have to just cut this down a bit because it was a 6-inch paper pad. So 1.5 by 5 3/4. And I just cut that, or stuck that again, flat, right down the middle, but I can see the pretty paper on either side, and I have the strip down the center. Here's my runner. And again, I'm doing it flat. If you wanted to mat this, you could do that too. Okay. So that is that. And then I realize I forgot one of these, so I'll go back to the little gift one that I had on my sheet of to get you to pull. So now we're going to use this house one, the one with the 3 little houses. And I stuck this one right directly onto here flat. I didn't want a lot of bulk because it's going into that pouch, but you could add foam tape if you wanted to. I'm sure it wouldn't make too much of a difference. So I just stuck it directly on here, pretty well at the top, because you want to have as much of it showing, because the nice thing about the pouch is I kind of just, I'll show you in a sec, but I kind of just pushed it down as far as I wanted to have it. So there's my little houses on there. And the other thing I asked you to grab was just, this is another die cut. It's the little star, just like this. And I stuck a little piece of foam tape on there. And I stuck it up just between the 2 roofs of the house. So if you can see it here. And I just stuck it right in between the 2 roofs. Just like that. This is a little embellishment. And then, as you know from previous crafty hours, I love using the Spellbinders gold gems. That's these guys here, the fashion gold gems. I love them because they come in all 3 of the sizes, from the big to the really tiny ones. And so I just used one of my little tiny guys on here, and I just put it in the center of the star, just to give it a little bit of an embellishment. And I did on the pouch too. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so there is your gift card or lottery ticket, or even I mean, my goodness, can you imagine if you even typed something out and put it inside and said, congratulations, you're going to Disneyland in a week, which I am. But you know, something like that, that would be super fun as well. So, okay, I'm just gonna go back. Here is our pouch that we worked on. Okay, and we have everything done for that. The only other one that I did is I asked you to pull this die cut as well. And what I did with this one is I just cut off the green gift, and it doesn't have to be fancy at the bottom because you're not going to see it. And I added a tiny little bit of glue just at the bottom of the die cut. There we go. And I just stuck it in. I may even take a little bit more off the gift. Let's just see. No, it worked okay. So, and then I just tucked it in between the trees. So you can see the little gift peering out, and it's just overlapping the little elf tree. So just like that. And all I did was just put a tiny bit of glue at the bottom. It's not, you know, it doesn't have to be completely flat. It's tucked in there just fine. It was just another layer. And that is pouch number 1. So here's the top of our pouch. Opens up just like that. You take your little card that we just made, or envelope that we just made. And the thing I like, and oh, going back, you would add a sentiment here if you wanted to. Totally up to you if you want to put a gift for you or whatever you want to do. I matted it in the mirrored gold just to tie it into the pouch. You don't have to. And I used foam tape to put it on there. And then you're just going to push it into your pouch. And the thing I liked about it is I kind of hid the sentiment, like I had enough space that I could push it right down into my pouch like that. So that all I'm seeing are the little houses sticking out. But when the recipient grabs it, they pull it out and there's your sentiment there too. So you can pop it in as far as you want in your pouch. And like I say, I would add a couple of candy canes or a sprig or something too. I just thought it was fun. It was a different idea than just doing the cards. But if you wanted to change it into a card, like I said earlier, you totally could do that. So that is pouch number 1. So let's set that aside and we are going to work on pouch number 2. And we'll do, like I say, we'll get through 2. And if we don't have enough time, I've got 3 typed out for you. So you'll have the where the different die cuts and everything are as well. So just get this back on because I don't want it clogging on me. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. Everybody is enjoying it, I hope. Like I say, my comments I can't see. I really do apologize. If there's any questions that you have, you can type them here. I will check it later on, and I can always answer anything for you guys too. I'm sorry, it's just been a whirlwind morning around here for sure. Okay, so this was the project number 2 die cuts that I had asked you to grab in homework. So that's what those are there. Let me just grab my instructions here. And my pieces for number 2 are right here. Okay, so this was the number 2 pouch that I did. I thought it again was fun. And again, just layering on here with foam tape and flat. And then I kind of tucked in this cute candy cane, which I absolutely loved, and have him kind of popped off. This is one you probably wouldn't want to put in an envelope. You'd want to hand it to, put it on a gift or hand it to the recipient. And then the little car and then Mr. and Mrs. Claus kind of popping out the top. So let's work on this one. Okay, so pouch number 2. Leave it there for you. The die cuts. And so you're going to grab another envelope from your stash that you have in your kit, and you're going to grab your gold and embossed piece. Where did I put mine? Give me a second. Here it is. That we cut in homework. So here again is our snowflake piece that we've embossed, and then we have the gold mirrored paper. This would be pretty with the red paper that you have as well. So we're going to seal up our sides again with our double-sided tape. And of course, if I was doing a bunch of these, I'd probably do all my pouches first and then get decorating. It would just make it a little bit quicker and easier if you were doing a bunch of them for, like I say, a table. Or if you were doing these, I think these would do really well at like a craft fair or something too. It's a unique little gift for somebody for sure. Okay, and where did I put my... There are tweezers, makes it a bit easier. And make sure you're watching Courtney this afternoon. She's usually on 5 p.m. Pacific time, and I'm sure that's when she will be on today as well. Courtney always has amazing, amazing designs and techniques, which are fantastic. So make sure you're tuning in today or watching it on replay, which I will be doing later on. Okay, so here's our gold and our embossed piece. Again, I'm going to put the embossed onto the gold with my foam squares. There we go. Peel all these guys off. I like using up, especially, like I say, the the quality of the paper and that we get in these Spellbinder kits are just amazing, and all the extras. And there was a die as well that I believe Courtney is going to be using in at least one of her designs tonight. So make sure you tune in to see that too. That was included in your kit. There we go. Okay, so embossed onto the gold. Again, just a tiny little border. Okay, and then tape gun, or again, if you want it popped up a bit more, then go ahead and use your foam squares. Make sure I have it at the top. I do. And we'll stick this guy on here. Okay, and then we can decorate pouch number 2. All right, so what I started with was this bigger poinsettia sprig that we had here. So I started with this one, and I kind of just put it up here at the top. So it was kind of the corner piece, like to kind of start the base for the pouch. So I just had it pretty well all the way over to the side and almost all at the top. That's kind of forming your corner. And I just stuck that on flat. So just up like that. There we go. Okay, so the next one I did was this blue ornament that I have here on the sheet, this blue ornament. And I put it on with foam tape, but I didn't put any foam tape on the left-hand side, so this side here. And the reason for that is I want to be able to tuck this die, this candy cane in afterwards. So if you put foam tape right up here to the side, it's just going to prevent it. So if you can just stay on this side, kind of center and over. And I put it pretty well directly at the bottom, just like that. Just a tiny little bit of the sprig hanging out, and I had it down here at the bottom. So and you really don't need a lot. I mean, we're building this on top of stuff as well. So you really, you don't have to have a ton of adhesive in there anyways. It's going to hold it just fine for you. So just to the right of the sprig, and just like that, just down here at the bottom. There we go. And that way that's left this open in order for us to be able to tuck our candy cane in afterwards. Okay? Yeah, and he doesn't need anything here at the top either, so that's perfect. Okay, the next guy is this elf ornament. So here, again, so cute, this little elf ornament. And I did this one with double foam tape, and I did it to the right of the blue ornament that we just put on. So I'm seeing this little sprig over here, which is kind of, again, loose. And I'm just going to put double foam tape on, and pretty well you only need it on sort of the middle to the right. That's all you need it. And I'll just use some of my little squares. Make sure I have him the right way. And I use double just again to kind of pop them up a bit more. If you don't want the thickness, then go for it. Just keep it all together on the with just the foam tape. Or you can do just flat too, whichever you'd prefer. I always say, some people like to have the real thickness. You don't have to. So I'm just going to put my little guys here. And I have double. And the less you stick it down, kind of the better too, because then it kind of pops off. So I've got him just coming over here to the right side of the blue ornament. And I had a pretty well at the top of that pink poinsettia that you can see up there. And he is double foamied. You may want to see how it is when you put it on. You may want to stick a little piece of foam tape under here as well. That one to me is staying just fine. Again, I probably wouldn't put this one in an envelope just because of the candy cane. But if you want to have some insurance, you could always stick a little bit of foam under here too. So just like that. Okay, and then we're going to have the small poinsettia, this one here, and we're going to stick it in just above the blue ornament. So just like that, you're seeing part of the big poinsettia in behind, and you've got the little one just sticking up here. And I just stuck that in with one little piece of foam tape just to have it pop off. That's the one thing that I am in awe of most of the time, all of the time, from Diane, because her layers are just incredible for all of her classes. Okay, so just a single little dot of foam is just fine, and that will hold that little poinsettia just in above the ornament, the blue ornament, and we'll embellish that just with a little dot afterwards. Okay. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the end of the candy cane. So this is the candy cane that it had. And you can cut the end of it off because again, you're not going to see it. So I just sort of sliced it about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. And all you're going to do with this is just tuck it in under the blue ornament. So it's sticking out just like that. So you're just going to add some glue to the bottom of it and then just tuck it inside. And that way it comes off the card. I thought it was really, really, really pretty. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue. Make sure I've got my glue here. The cap on, then it wouldn't get clogged, right? Okay, so we're just going to tuck the little candy cane just in behind the blue ornament, just like that. And if you just sort of hold it down just for a couple of seconds, it'll hold it in place. And then that's coming off the card. You can just sort of fold it in half and it kind of pops right off, which I just think is so pretty. Just like that. And then we have this little candy, the little circular candy. And we're just going to stick it on flat, and I just added it to the side of the little elf ornament. Again, just for a bit of an embellishment. And all you need is a little bit of glue on that. Tiny, tiny. This little guy, and we just sort of stuck him down here at the bottom of the elf ornament, just like that. Okay, and then we have our car, our cute little elf car, and all I did with him is just put some foam tape in behind. You again could put double if you wanted to. I've kind of made him. This one, I'm going to tuck underneath my ornaments a little bit, but he's still going to come off the card just like that. If you move this over a bit more, you'd have a little bit more room. It really doesn't matter. I just think it's kind of cute just to have it to the side of the sprig. So fun. Okay, so we'll just add a little bit of foam to that. I'm doing perfect. Go. So we'll just tuck him kind of underneath the elf bauble, elfmobile with foam. It's like that. There we go. And then we have this cute little stamp right here, and I kind of put it up at the corner so it sort of looked like a stamp, and I put foam in behind that too. Again, you could make it flat, whatever you'd prefer. There we go. And then the chipboard. So I talked about the foamy guys. You also have this double pack of chipboard shapes. That one there and that one there. I used the Oh What Fun, and I put it on with foam tape. And again, just sort of hold off on the other ones until you see if Courtney has used any of them, or add your own sentiment, whichever you'd prefer. I'll just add the little one that I have extra here for me. I'll just use the little fa la la and just a tiny bit of foam just to pop it up. There we go. And I just stuck it right in this little piece that we had available here, just as a tiny little sentiment. It looks so cute. I just love the colors in this. And then again, I used my Fashion Gold gems, and I used the little tiny one just to put one in the center of the candy down here on here. And I used the next size up. This one to put in the center of the poinsettia. And you can always use stickles, or you could use, you know, something like that as well would be really cute. That is that pouch. That's pouch number 2. And then I'll show you what we did for the envelope for this one. Again, I will just hold it over here. So this is the envelope that's going to go inside, and that is the cute little Mr. and Mrs. Claus. So we use the poinsettia paper in this one, which was this beautiful paper. So this is the poinsettia paper, and we're going to cut it 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. So 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And again, I'm only using half of it, so if Courtney was going to use it, no problem at all. I already had it cut to the other side. So 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And if you had an extra piece of gold mirrored, I said to just have extras if you were, you know, if you had extra pieces. You may not have it right now, but again, you can add it after, or you could do a mat with one of the beautiful colors of cardstock, or whatever you decide to do. But I cut a piece of the gold mirrored paper, 2 7/8, so just before the 3 inch, by 5 3/8. Just like that. I just stuck these together flat. That out of the way. You can still see that. Just like that. Cut that together so that is matted now. And I again just stuck this right down the center of the envelope like we did in the first one. And just because it's me, I do my flaps to the right, doesn't matter. I pretty well brought it up to the top, but it's kind of like you have a border on either side, and they should be pretty well the same top and bottom. So that just went straight down the middle like that. Okay, and then I took Mr. and Mrs. Claus, which are so cute. before I stuck them on, or you could do it afterwards, I just grabbed these little pom-poms, dollar store, Michael's, wherever you could find them, little white pom-poms, added a tiny little bit of glue at the top, and I put those on their hats, just to, again, to give it a tiny little bit of an embellishment. So just like that. And I put Mr. and Mrs. Claus on with foam tape. These guys on, and you know, of course you don't want to put your foam tape up at the top because it's going to come over top. Just slightly over top of the envelope is what I did. Just like that. So I just tucked it over top of the envelope, like that. This with my foam. That's the side of the envelope, just like that. Again, I added my sentiment. So if you have a sentiment you want to put there, or use one of the little foamies or chipboard words, you could do that. I matted it in the mirrored as well and added foam tape in behind. And then we're going to take our card, which is this guy that I made today, and we're just gonna pop Mr. and Mrs. Claus in the top of the pouch. Just like that. And again, you can tuck it down as far as you can. I just did it so that their legs were inside. Didn't make any difference that I had foam tape in there. There's still lots of space. And then they're popped in at the top to wish you a Merry Christmas. So cute. I just love, again, I love this color palette for this whole kit, the Spellbinders kit. So that was pouch number 2. So we got 2 completed. I'm going to show you my pouch number 3. And again, I will, I typed this out. So we've got all my instructions here for cutting the strip and all that kind of stuff for the for the pouch number 3. I'll just show it to you. He is right here. It's out of the way now. And this one I thought was super cute. So again, we just added our paper, we added our little die cuts, and I did give you the sheet with the die cuts that are required. Again, if you didn't see it prior to the Crafty Hour, it is in the comments section on the Clipper Street when we posted the event. So it is there if you needed to pull them ahead of time. Those are your die cuts for project number 3. And the tree, of course, is for the envelope. Decorated these guys just with foam, added the dimensions, and then the cute little package of goodies that you were given. I know Courtney most likely will do a shaker, so I always avoid it because they're so adorable. But what an awesome mix that we got too in this kit. So I just decided I would just pop a few of the little stars on here. I used a tiny little glue dot. Or a tiny little bit of glue, but the glue dots work really well. So I did that, and I added the sequins, if you can see them, just to the center of the holly on here too. And I did the little, the tiny little candies that we had. Same thing with the Merry Christmas, but the little tree is just popping out the top. So I will definitely post the picture of this. I'll post the picture of the other 2 pouches that we made today, and I will put those instruction sheets just because I didn't know if we would get to it. I thought it was probably a lot to try and to rush through, so I didn't want to do that today as well. So anyways, again, don't forget Courtney should be on at 5 o'clock tonight Pacific time with an awesome Crafty Hour as usual. Please make sure, and I say this every time, to join the Crafty Hour Creations group. It's a great way to post your creations that you work on. We can add things, we can answer questions or things as well, and for the homework and everything like that. And we have a couple of next ones coming up. I know at Clipper Street for sure they are sold out for the next one, which is the graphic for or 49 and Market Crafty Hour, and then we'll see what's going on with the new one that Diane released today that I have never seen the craziness for that one, which is just absolutely great. And remember, you have a ton of extra things that we didn't even play with today. These acetate shapes, a ton of cute little Christmas papers, so you can make a whole bunch more of those pouches. Super easy. And you know, if you need the dimension for your pouches, just measure that card that came with your kit, and then you'll know exactly which way to do it. These were all my extra die cuts that I had left over, so a ton of those, and all the extra chipboard and the foamy stickers too. So a ton of goodies. A fantastic Crafty Hour as usual. I appreciate you being with me. I hope everybody enjoyed it today. I'm sorry I couldn't see the comments. I'm not sure why. Again, it's me. I'm totally challenged when it comes to technology. But if I see any questions or whatever, I'll be happy to answer them too. And besides that, I won't be with you for the next two, but hopefully I'll be doing one of the next ones after that. I look forward to seeing you all again, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much. Thanks for being with me. We'll see you soon.